Yo, what is up guys? Leoric here. Today, I'm going to try and start a series about a perfect genre of gaming. Specifically today, we will be doing RPGs, but I will be making other ones like first-person shooters, third-person shooters, multiplayer, strategy games, stuff like that. And these are all my own preference to it. I'd like to hear your guys' preference to watching it in an RPG to make it perfect. But today we're going to start with what I think is needed in an RPG now. First off, I think one of the most important elements in an RPG, besides the gameplay and stuff like that, is the story. Story in RPGs is kind of a dying thing because a lot of people nowadays tend to focus less on RPG storyline and more on just the multiplayer side of stuff and like that. But I think to make a good RPG, you don't need multiplayer. Sometimes multiplayer can actually ruin a game. I know everyone now wants to play with their friends or something like that, but an RPG, I'd rather have a very decent RPG than an okay RPG and an okay multiplayer or terrible multiplayer. That's the majority of the way. I'll say, what is it? Dragon Age Inquisition. That game was good. I don't think it needed a multiplayer element to it. The storyline was brilliant and the gameplay was okay. The multiplayer side of it, I think I just wasted time and effort. Like, I understand they wanted to add some sort of loot box system into the game, and that was the only way of them doing it, and that kind of ruined it, but at the same time I understand why they make that. I'd rather them make a game that doesn't require any online support, and once the game is done, it's done. Finished product. There's no in-game money profit afterwards. I'd rather just count the losses, make a good story, okay gameplay, and yeah, that's what I think ruined that game. It's just the multiplayer side of it. But most people now are just focusing on making some sort of money towards the game as well afterwards. When they release a product, they want their product to continuously make money from it. I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. It ruins games. Everyone complains about it. And with RPGs, I know this is probably my own thing, but I think most RPGs need some sort of progression system in it. I hate a game that there's not really a progression system or an armor system that makes your character stronger, or you get more moves, or your character can hit more or take more damage. I think every game needs like basically a leveling system in the game to show that your character is getting better. I know there's loads of games that used to come out that were just RPGs, but there's no progression, so your character was basically the same from start to finish. I know your skill improves, but at the same time, I like some sort of improvement, like my character's changing and evolving to get better throughout the game, like just a leveling system. I'll say a game that is my favorite leveling system in any game, and probably one of my favorite storylines in any game and gameplay and all, is Final Fantasy X. Not Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy X. If you looked at the leveling and the talent tree in that game, there was no way in hell I could ever get all the talent trees. There was so much different ways. They had like a multi-tree, I don't know what they're called now, a multi-tree leveling system. Like, there's basically circular, and you could level in any direction in that game, and that was amazing. Like, the thing is, the time they took to make that, I know it applied to every character could basically potentially get every single move from each other with that game, but you had to put a lot of time into it because, as you know, in most games, leveling up the harder it gets. I never got to the point where I could finish all that leveling and get every single talent tree in it. But that's what games need. They need some sort of talent trees. I remember when World of Warcraft had a good talent tree system. Like, you had to choose the skills you wanted. I know everyone ends up picking the same thing, but this is hard. This is a lot harder. You had to actually think about it. Now it's a lot more automated, a lot more simple than it used to be, the talent trees in World of Warcraft. I think a talent tree system is what I prefer in an RPG. If they make one, I say an RPG where the talent tree system makes it a lot better. I know Witcher got sort of a talent tree, but it's kind of small and it's very limited. I prefer more options when it comes to that out of all my elements. I'll say first story, second talent tree. That's one thing you definitely need. Secondly, I would say RPGs now don't really need open world. I prefer open world game. They don't need it. It can be like, say, it can be quite linear, like you're limited to your movement. But I don't think every RPG needs an open world. I prefer open world games way more. Like, say, if you played Witcher, Metal Gear. Metal Gear was kind of ruined by the way it was developed, but there's no end story. Yeah, I prefer games like that. I cannot think of any other ones right now. But I prefer games like, Witcher and Metal Gear Solid 5. Those are like perfect RPGs to me. Metal Gear was kind of ruined because the story was not complete. And this is probably going to be my final point with RPGs. If you make an RPG, please don't sell me the ending in a DLC. That is one way to ruin a game for anybody, when you sell the ending in a DLC. Final Fantasy 15 kind of done this with other characters in it, but at the same time it completed the story. The problem with Final Fantasy is you had to do a lot of outside research to understand some points of like how the king died and all that. I know they've added some more stuff. I don't know that they fixed this problem. I don't think they have. Like, it doesn't exactly explain how the king died unless you watch the animated movie, the CGI movie. That's kind of stuff I don't like. I don't like when the game I buy doesn't tell me the full story. I think Destiny 1 did a hell of a lot of this. Like, all the lore in Destiny was not in the game. What is the point of it? There's no point. I'm not going to do the research. I'm definitely not going to do the research. But yeah, if you want to make a game, do not sell me the ending in a DLC. Make sure that the ending is in there. I have a complete product. And if I enjoyed it completely, I will buy the next DLC because I enjoyed the game and I want some sort of continuation. I want the story to carry on by a DLC. So don't sell me the ending. Finish the ending you started with and you can sell me extra content. That's the way I think RPGs, there's no way in hell a loot box system or any maybe cosmetics, but cosmetics cannot belong in an RPG. If a game is purely RPG, you cannot have a cosmetic system in it and a loot box system in it, because I want to be able to unlock those things from the game. Like cosmetics, if you're limiting my cosmetics, like my character way it looks in a game like an RPG, I think it's unfair. It's unfair. You can keep that to first person shooters and stuff, that's fine, but RPGs, it needs to stay the hell away from that. Loot box systems do not belong in it. You can put DLC in an RPG. That's fine. That's fair. Okay, let's stick with the points again. First point, great story. Second point, great progression system like a talent tree or something like that. Third point, a complete story. Fourth point, if you want to add any form of paid option into it, it's only going to be in the form of DLC. Do not add loot boxes to this. Do not add paid cosmetics to this. It just wouldn't work, I think, to make a successful RPG. There's probably a few elements I have missed in this video, so I would like to know what you guys think about that. Is there something I've completely missed? Is there something you completely hate that I said? Or do you agree on most of the things I've said, but you change something slightly? And if you guys ever really enjoyed this video or found this video informative in any way, please share this video on either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Reddit. I would really appreciate it. My name's Leoric, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.